Oh, good morning, all you lovely people. Welcome back to the Grumpy Git in the Corner on voting day, Thursday the 2nd, which is a bit cloudy, and they're telling me that there's going to be 50% chance of rain today, including warnings for lightning, torrential rain, you know, the usual stuff we get this time of year. I'll get on to the voting in a minute. But first of all, this story that's come out now about the Yorkshire police officer, Mohammed Ali, whatever his fucking name is. Now, it seems that he got into a lot of trouble. He's been actually charged under the Terrorism Act of 2 counts of posting something supporting Hamas. 2 posts, 1 copper. Now, this does seem strange, doesn't it? When you think and you look at the protests in London, with thousands of people showing their support for Hamas. You know, which, by the way, Hamas are on the list of illegal organisations. You can be getting into a lot of trouble for supporting. But how does that work? I mean, the fact that he did it, I'm not disputing that. He should be held to account for it. But what about these others? The ones in those big protests, and there are hundreds of them, in amongst the thousands, that blatantly support Hamas. I don't support either side. I don't really give a shit what they do over there. It doesn't concern me. It's not my fucking war. But why aren't they pulling these people up? In fact, the police do the opposite. You stand there with a sign that calls Hamas out as being a terrorist organisation. The police come after you. Can they not make their minds up, or are they just thick? We know they're biased. You know, the cops in this country basically are openly supporting them in one area, and then on the other hand they're pulling somebody down for doing what these protests do. You know, this country is so fucked up, it's unbelievable. Again, sorry, I did say yesterday on the live stream that today's video would be late because I was going out to vote. Thank you for those that joined in last night. It wasn't one of the best, but I'm going to change the format around a bit next week and try something else. I'm going to try and have a bit more interaction with the chat. But anyway, the voting, yeah, our local elections today. Well, and yours. Local mayor, police and crime commissioners. Well, the police thing, I'm not bothered about. Because as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen them hold the police account for anything. All they do is point something out to them and bitch and moan about it, and fuck all gets done. As we know, the police in this country seem to think they're a law unto themselves. There's only one force that actually follows any direction that they're given, and that is the Met Police, following that corrupt little bastard, Carnage Khan, who, fingers crossed, might lose his position today, which would be great for London, depending on who gets in to follow him. But, you know, it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I did show this on the live last night, which is the voting cards they send out to everybody to tell you where to go, etc. You don't need them to vote, but I was interested in those numbers that I circled there. In particular, to have a look on the voting slips, if they correspond to any numbers on there, which means they'd be checking and they can tell who you voted for, as I explained last night. Now, they did ask for the ID, which under the new rules they're entitled to do, and I duly showed them. But they did write something down next to my name. So as soon as they gave me the voting slips, I looked at a number on the back. I said, now can you show me what you've written down next to my name in that book? She said, why would you want to see that? I said, you've written it next to my name, it's my information, I'd like to know what you've put in there. I said, because if it's corresponding to any of the numbers I've got here, I said, I will be kicking up merry hell. So she reluctantly gave me turned the book round so I could see it. Luckily for them, it was just what I'd used for ID. I made sure they didn't copy anything down off my driving licence. But as they gave me the 2 slips, they gave me the 2. One for the mayor, one for the police and crime commissioner. I duly told them I don't need the one for police and crime commissioner because I won't be voting on that. I said because to me it's a pointless position. Nothing gets achieved by them and they just soak up public money. So to which she said, well, we've got to give it you. I said, okay, fair enough. So I walked over to my little box thing that they have where you put your cross in the box. Walked back to the table. I said, could I have a pen please? She said, oh, you've got to fill it in over there. I said, there's only pencils over there. She said, yeah. I said, I'd like to do it in pen please. She said, well, why is that? And I very calmly explained to them that everything's been put in place now to try and stop voter fraud. What could be easier than rubbing out a pencil mark and redoing it? I said, I would like to put my cross in the box in ink, please. So they did. They gave me a pen. I put my cross, put it in the box. They did kick up about it, but I was having none of it. And then they asked, oh, you've got to put your green slip in there as well, the one for the police and crime commissioners. I said, this one, you mean? She said, yes. I said, no, thank you. She said, why not? You've got to put it in the box. I said, well, I'm not voting. Why should I put it in there? And she insisted that it's got to go in the box. I said, no. I said, because if I put it in there and I haven't marked it, it will go down as a destroyed, whatever they do, but it will be counted even though it's not voted. I said, so no thank you, I'm not putting it in the box. She said, well, you could give it to somebody else and they could use it. So as you can see, it's ripped in half and taped back together. I said, no, they can't. She said, well, you've got to put it in the box. I said, no, I haven't. I said, you gave it to me. If I don't want to use it, that's up to me. So forget it. So I kept it to prove a point. And she did say, you know, oh, you know, what, we don't get people here that do this sort of thing. I said, well, today's a first for you then, ain't you? Yeah, live and learn. But a couple of people behind me did ask afterwards on the way out. They said, you know, that's unbelievable. I said, well, these idiots have got to be held to account. I said, they try to push people around, make them do things. I said, no, I'm not having it. She said, oh, fair play to you. There you go. That was the experience today. But anyway, I'll leave it there. I didn't expect this to go on that long. I didn't expect to talk about much about the voting. But everybody, don't forget to vote. Have your say, especially you guys in London. You know what you need to do up there. I think everybody does. But until the next one, as always, guys, stay safe, stay strong. stay free from the tyranny. Respects, guys.